What's going on? It's your boy SB. Alright, so this is a vlog I've kind of referenced a lot of times, and what we are talking about today is how Amazon broke my heart. What am I talking about? So what I mean when I say that is, this is like the thing that caused me, because a lot of people was like, yo, I remember your older videos, you were trying to get to that ops, that L6 level. That was the goal, and then it just seemed like it kind of switched. Well, this is the thing that caused a shift and a turn. And even after this, I still say, and I still feel the company is lit and it's still opportunity to come up. But this was just a turning point for me, hitting the brakes on moving up in the company. This is like the final straw. I was already, you feel me? It was already shaky, iffy, politics, turbulence, all that stuff was already taking place. At any job that you go up to and there's a chain of command, there's a ladder to climb, you are going to find that stuff. So one of the main things that caused me to, I guess, react in such a, all right, nope, I'm good type thing, I think is because I was so invested. You feel me? Like way more invested than you're supposed to be in a job. But I don't think it was wrong. I just think the way that I was invested, like I think you should be invested in your job. Like if you expect to get something from that job, to get a return, to move up, anything, you should definitely be invested into your job. So the way that I was invested into the job, it grew to a level of investment that I think it shouldn't have got that far. And what that investment was, I started to invest me, my being. And what I mean by that is like, it wasn't just a job. These were my people. You feel me? I'm out there encouraging, I'm pouring into people, which is something that I always do. But I think the main thing for me is when I started to use my creative thinking, critical thinking, and just the way that I think with ideas to create in the workplace. I started getting invested like that. And I think that's where I was too invested. But you feel me? It's hard to say that because that is how, you know what I mean? You stand out. That's how you outshine. That's how you get in a position to be noticed, etc., etc. But you can get into a place to where you forget, like, this is somebody else's company. You could forget everybody around you who's trying to climb up that ladder as well is sharks for the most part. You feel me? Especially the ones that's real passionate. Watch you. That's the ones you definitely got to watch because they the ones who would do anything to get that position. So basically, if you guys been following my journey, you know I was on a mission to be that L6, which is an operation manager. And in my journey of doing that, this is one reason why I was so invested. I'm trying to just kill the game, level up in all ways, numbers, stats, want my shift to be the best shift, my team to be the best team, my area manager over me to be the best one, and for me to be the best PA that I was at that time. So one of the things that I did, it started when I first became a PA. I was like, okay, bet, you know what I mean? I'm learning the ropes, I'm learning everything. I got everything, the basics down. Now, how do I take this to the next level? I sit back, I watch, okay, I see what they're doing. If they're doing cool. But how do I take it to the next level? So me, I'm in the mix, I'm in the moment. You know what I mean? I'm out there talking to the people. So I just took in a lot of information. I was like, what if I did this, create something that would not only make the work environment super fun, but would increase productivity and, you know what I mean, caused me to get that notoriety and stand out. So that's what I did. I just seen something and then there was a tool available to make it work. And I was like, yo, I wonder if anybody's thought of this. Nobody thought of it. And basically what I'm talking about, the thing that I created, it's something when it comes to Amazon, they call it a project. Basically something that you create to make a process easier, make a process better, to create something. It's a project. They basically at Amazon, that's one thing that's dope. I think we can make this department over here better by doing this. I got an idea. And they will be like, bet, let's try it. Like with my project, it's something that I created when I was first a PA back in California in LGB3, my first building. And I didn't even tell like my area managers, people over me. I just wanted to see the results for myself. It was something I created to increase productivity for the people that I was over. Tested it out myself without telling nobody. Numbers went up. So this is the first time numbers went up. I'm like, oh, you know what I mean? And it went up noticeably because we had a thing called sync meetings. So in those meetings, whenever somebody's floor was doing great or doing bad, they want to know what's up. So, you know, they went through the bad first, like, hey, you know, what's going on over there? It's looking kind of tack time, kind of high. Y'all sitting on a cool 33 means they going slow. What's going on? They get a thing. I'm just quiet because I see my numbers. I'm like, yo, I wonder if they notice. Oh, I know they notice. They come around, it's like, Mr. SB, what you doing over there? I'm like, oh, well, you know, I'm just yada, yada, yada. I downplay it. I don't tell them I did anything because, I'm in trial and error. I wanted to test out this new project. So basically that went on for about a month. here and there, I would make sure, okay, is it just because it's the beginning of the week, end of the week? I'm trying to test everything to really make sure that this thing that I created is lit. And sure enough, every time I run the project, my productivity, my rate on my floor, higher than everybody else's by a noticeable mark as well. So every time I run it, yo, what you doing over there? Boom, boom, boom. So it finally got to a point where they started knowing, because what I did involved the employees. So what I was doing, the employees actually liked it. And that's what made it dope, because they had a fun time with the project and it caused them to increase their productivity, which in turn and makes us all look good. But the thing about it is, people start to notice that, hey, what's going on over there? And then some of the associates that were a part of the little thing I was doing, when they go to like the other side of the building and they're under somebody else, they're like, hey, you don't do this thing, boom, boom, boom. They're like, no, what's that? Oh yeah, well, when I was on SB's floor, he does this and this. And I'm not saying what it is online, because this is my project. Well, it ain't mine. No, they just stole it. But we're going to get to that in a minute. But basically, so they started asking everybody else, like, oh, you don't do what SB does? They like, nah. And then some of them smart. Well, what do you do? Hold on real quick. Come here. So what SB be doing? I'm telling you, man, they be on it. When people trying to move up, you better watch them. So then some of the employees would tell them like, oh, well, when we do this, he sends this out, boom, 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 boom. They give them the rundown. So they was like, oh, he does that? Because the associates was like, oh, we thought everybody does that. They was like, nah, we didn't even know he was doing that. So it gets back to our ops and they like, yo, what you doing? We heard boom, boom, boom. They see the numbers. But by this time, this is right at the point where I was getting ready to leave that building to go to an away team. And our building was just about to go into peak season, where we peak out on our volume. And that's where the time where we make noise. So they was like, you gonna go ahead and roll out your project for everybody? You gonna teach everybody how to do your project before you go on the away team, right? I was like, nah. You feel me? Was dead serious. They was like, you crazy. You gonna teach them though, right? I'm like, nah. You want me to give you something I sat down and created on my own time. It's been tested and tried. It works every single time. And you want me to give you this at the peak of the season while I go over here and y'all use my stuff? You crazy. But it's Amazon, so they crazy. So basically, I finally was like, you know what I mean? Because it's a catch-22. If I don't do it, oh, you're not a part of the team. Well, they wouldn't say that, but you know how it is if you try to climb up the ladder. You got to play the game. You got to be a team player. So I was like, I ain't gonna lie, it was hard. It took me like 2-3 days. I was like, I'll teach them. You feel me? They was like, all right, cool, bet. I mean, I didn't say it like that. I kept it professional because I know they watch that stuff. And I'm all about sharing. I'm all about the team leveling up. But I'm all about me getting my recognition when I'm the one who created something as well. And that's something you got to be careful about in the workplace, because ideas and stuff get stolen all the time. Seen it happen plenty of times. It's happened to me. That's just how it is. So I was getting ready to go on an away team, and our ops was like, listen, y'all gonna have to come in. And it was the other PAs. It was like, yo, he gonna teach you how to do what he does. Boom, boom, boom. So we had 2 meetings before I left. I was like, all right, bet. First meeting, guess what? None of the PAs show up. I was like, all right, cool. Mobbed out, you know what I mean? Nobody showed up. To me, I think it was like, we don't really need him. I'm the new PA. Oh man, we don't need da. Cool, you feel me? So the team found out they didn't come. I was like, hey, I leave next week. They was like, hey, go, and he's gonna show y'all how to do what he does before he leaves. Next little meeting comes around. I'm out. I bet. You feel me? So I slide out, nobody show up again. So I told them, like, look, they didn't show up again. They was hot. So they was, all right, well, when you come back, we want to run it. We really wanted to run it while you was on the away team because it's peak. But all right, it's cool. So I was like, ooh, bet. So I ended up going on the away team. I didn't know, you feel me, I was going to stay out there. That's going to have to be a whole vlog in itself. I end up staying. I don't go back to that building. So I still have the project that I created over there, tested, tries. I know it worked. So fast forward, going to my new building, starting off fresh, brand new building, just launched. The department I'm in, new, everything's new, boom, boom, boom. So we're, it's going through the phases of a building opening. So during that time, once the volume increases, everybody's in the mix. We all know what we're doing. So in one of our sync meetings, I was like, listen, I got a project I'm gonna run in a few weeks. It's going to bring results 100%. I've tried it. My last building works every single time. Boom, boom, boom. And the reason I was ready to roll it out, I was the only PA in my whole department, which is a process assistant. Basically, running the floor, I was the only one. Usually it's about 4 of you guys on one shift. So this was even a better position to me to roll out the project because I was by myself with nothing else but AMs and L5s and L6. So the time came around when I told him, like, listen, I'm finna run my new project. I said, be ready to see some numbers change today. Oh, I was talking crazy. I was like, oh, we gonna break records, boom, boom, boom. And then by the end of that shift, broke a record. So the next day we all come in, we literally had the highest. We took the record from all the other departments since the building's been open, but not just by a small margin. I mean, by a long shot, by a noticeable difference, to the point they had to mention it in our next meeting. It was like, listen, they like low key tried to blame it on coding. We got to make sure we're coding people into the right buckets that can mess with rate. And we want to make sure we're doing stuff the honest way. Oh, so y'all think I'm over here cheating? I said, okay, bad. Before the meeting was over, and this was a big person talking, I walked out hot. Everybody knew, because everybody knew what they were talking about. I literally walk out the meeting before it's even done because I'm hot. So I go to the floor. I tell all my people, listen, we finna turn up again. We running the project again today. We gonna turn up again. Broke a record again that day. Next day, they had something else to say in the meeting. I said, okay, bad. I mean, at this time, I'm like, oh, we on. Okay, let's do this. The next day, break another record. The next day, we broke another record. So we broke the record the first day. Each day, it was raising up higher. So by this point, you got people, the big wigs on the other shifts, like, yo, what's going on over there? Then you got the big wigs on my shift, like, hey, what he doing? But they're not coming to me yet. You feel me? They going to the people over me trying to get the info. Hey, so what is he doing? I hear the whispers as I'm walking up to where everybody getting. Then they get quiet. Then they act like they talking about something. Yo, the corporate world is cold. You gotta watch your soul, your heart, your mind, your body, your spirit. It's a cold game. Anyways, so to make a long story short, because I can get into detail, be a super long story. Anyway, so I roll out the project. We break all these records. They try to go to everybody except me to get the information. But me, you feel me? I'm smarter than that. I don't give the information to nobody. And it was certain people trying to get close. All right, so yeah, what do you do? I'm like, oh yeah, don't worry. I got this. You feel me? Like, we good. I never shared the information for that reason. Cause I'm like, listen, if anybody gonna try to get this information, you coming to the source. I don't care how high you are. So basically they ended up doing that. And at this point though, I knew, listen, am I going to be a part of the credit of this? I already know. You feel me? I know Amazon. I know companies in general. The way that it usually works, even if you fully create something, the person over you is going to get some credit, and the person over them, they boss, they going to get some credit. No, we made this project. You be like, oh, we in France now. we speaking French now. Okay, bring the fries, bring the French toast, the French fries, since we just French today. Ain't that funny? You know what I mean? All these we's coming out. Anyways, though, that is the way it works. And I already knew that. All right, bet. But my thing was this. I just want to make sure my name is on it. Is that too hard to ask? And the reason why I made it a point is because I've seen it with Amazon. I've seen it at other companies. People will come up with some innovative idea, some super dope way to do something better, bringing results. And then everybody else benefits from it except the person. I've seen it happen before. Like I said, when you're climbing up any ladder, when you're moving up in a company, wherever you're moving up, there's sharks. You feel me? There's people who will do whatever it takes for them to move up, even if it's still something you created or somebody else created, and they get the credit for it. So the person that was up and came to me, pulled me to the side and everything, walked me around, you feel me? Buddy, I already knew what's up. You feel me? I know what you're here for. Let's talk business. You feel me? I know what you want. What's up? And this is the thing. The whole time I'm looking in your soul. You know what I mean? So I seen it. I kid you not. When I had that talk, I seen it. I was like, they gonna try to get all the credit from this. I knew it. I felt it. Everything. But I was in a position to where if I didn't give up the information, I felt like I would have been low-key blocked. You will, because then it's like you're not playing ball, you're not being a team player. And if I did do it, I felt like I'm not going to get the credit as well. But not getting the credit to me would have been better than higher ups, because it got that high. I don't want to say the position. It got high up because it was that big of a difference. So what did I do? I gave up the information. I said, all right. And this is the reason why. One of the things is like, listen, it's not like I can use this for myself to benefit off my own companies or something like that I was doing on the side, or use it to create something on the side. It wasn't nothing like that. It was actually something pretty simple, pretty basic, but nobody did it and nobody thought about placing what I did in the workplace. But it was perfect. It made people enjoy the job a whole lot more and have more fun and cause them to work. Like, everything produced just the greatest results. Productivity wise, work culture wise, it caused people to have fun and people to get out their shells, and people actually started making friends. Like, every single area, it was beneficial. So I knew what I had on my hands, but at the end of the day, I was like, I can't benefit off this myself nowhere else but this job. Bet, here it is. But this is where it gets cold, because every day I'm going home, you know what I mean? I'm talking to my mom. She like, oh, yo, how's it going at the new building? I'm like, yo, we broke another record. She, what? Next day, we broke another record. She like, let's go. I'm like, let's go. Then like the third day, she like, you not telling them what you're doing, right? It's like, moms know. Moms know. I'm sitting here just enjoying the moment. She like, is you giving them the sauce? Is you giving them the sauce though? It's like, mom, can we just enjoy the moment? I knew, she knew, you know what I mean? And even at that point, I already knew. I was like, ah. And that's what made it worse, because now the family knows, like, yo, you're making a difference in a whole department, and some people high up is even noticing it. You need to make sure you get some type of return from this, which is rightfully so for them to think. So that on top of this right here, the lies of, look, you're going to get the credit. Like, if I really give details, which I'm not, it's the internet, but it was really just told to me like, yo, everybody's gonna know you created this, we're gonna send it out to this, and that that goes out to everybody. Didn't happen, because listen, you feel me? Don't play with me. I'm gonna do my investigation. You feel me? Call me Inspector Gadget. I should have been walking around with a magnifying glass and that little golf hat that he be having on, because I was like, oh yeah, I'm not gonna talk. I'm not gonna tell you that. Oh, you're gonna do that? Okay, cool. All right, bet. Sounds good. All right, cool. That's all they gonna know. I did my investigation. I start talking to this person on this shift, up there, down there, over there, around there. And the thing was, none of them knew. So that's when I really knew, yo, they finna try to just get all the credit for it. And basically, that's what happened. Created a project, caused us to be the #1 shift by a crazy margin, to where it was noticeable by people way up there. And basically, they rolled it out to every shift. It's called a white paper, all this stuff. They made it really official. You feel me? This person above me got promoted. The person above them went over here, got promoted. And the person up here, they all went somewhere. And I was still there. Hence, heartbroken. But seriously though, so this right here was the turning point. Not only on me climbing up the ladder, this was a test for me to get bitter or get better. Because let me tell you, when you spend time, effort, and you're really putting in work, and you're putting in more work, and you're seeing results, and it's doing damage, and it's doing great, and it's killing it, and everybody benefits from it except you. You feel me? Like, that put me in a test. I'm not gonna lie. And then when you got other people, hey, I heard this person got a promotion, this person got a promotion, this person, and man, you're the one who does everything. And this, people so innocent. It's the associates. They don't really know. They be so innocent, but what they be saying, they see, but they don't know the details. And if they did, listen, there was even some people who was close was like, look, something don't seem right. Something don't seem right, SB. And if you need me to, it's like, yo, chill, relax. I put on that. Nah, I keep it PC. In the workplace, you're not going to catch me slipping. I kept it PC, correct, on point. I don't vent in the workplace, honestly, but you don't ever vent down. So I would never be venting to some associates about what's going on anyways. If you in leadership, don't be doing that. The biggest battle for me was right here inside. I felt violated. I felt robbed. And it made it even worse. It's like, bro, this ain't even the streets. I feel violated. This ain't even the streets. And I just had ideas of, you know what I mean? Like, which route do I go? I felt like I was at a crossroads. What do I do? Because that was the main thing. I felt violated. This ain't even the streets. I expect this from the hood. I expect this to happen in the streets. Not to me, I don't speak that over me. But this that type of stuff that you rob people in the streets. You gonna rob me in the workplace with a smile and encourage me while you do it? I felt like they was testing my skin. I want to be like, I'm black, right? Listen, I'm just playing. But you feel me? Like, I'm not gonna lie. I'm being honest right now. I'm being transparent. Listen, I had to overcome them thoughts. So basically what happened? I didn't get bitter. I got better. I said, you know what? Bet. You feel me? I just gotta keep going. Didn't do nothing stupid. Didn't say nothing stupid. Didn't put people on blast. Cause this is the thing. Everybody knew. Not even the associates. The associates knew like, yo, I'm talking about people in leadership and above, up. They coming to me, hey man, this is wrong. Like they coming to me like, yo, like what you gonna do type thing. And is there any advice I can give you? Cause I want to help. Like it was a big deal and they all knew cause they all seen it play out. So I decided, you feel me, not to let that get me out of character. It was a test. It was a challenging test because I've even heard of this happening to people. People told me about this when I first was working on a project. They'd be like, hey, make sure when you do this project, you let it be known by all the big people. Let all the different ones know that you did it before you establish it. Boom, boom. So they all can know beforehand. Yada, yada, yada. I didn't do all that. So I think this was my biggest challenge working with the company. But that was the point where I said, you know what? It snapped me back to reality. That was the point where I was like, I really pulled back. And even at that point, I had other projects I was ready to roll out as well. But because of that, I was like, you know what? Negative. You feel me? Negative. Fool me once. What's the saying? I don't know because I don't be out here trying to get fooled. But you know what I'm saying? Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, that's on me. Something like that. And that was the point when I did another launch in San 3. And I basically was like, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and just take this other promotion at corporate. And that interview didn't come from any of my managers co-signing me. They didn't let them at corporate know like, hey, he's good. Nothing like that. Usually your managers and ops and all that stuff will vouch to the hiring managers. Oh, yeah, he's good. Boom, boom, boom. I didn't even tell them. I just ended up applying for the position, interviewed for it, passed it. And when I came back from the away team, that is when I ended up going to corporate. And that was the main reason why. One of the main reasons why. I got another reason. That's going to be in the other video. But that was one of the main reasons. Now listen, you feel me? When you're moving up in any company, you got to be innovative. You got to create. You got to make stuff pop. Or there's other ways, but we ain't going to talk about that. And I don't suggest you go down them other ways. We might. No, we ain't going to talk about that. But even with Amazon, this is not, I don't want to scare nobody. This doesn't happen 100% of the time, not even 50. I don't even want to say 80% of the time, but it does happen. Not just in Amazon, at any type of job, company where you're trying to move up, these type of things happen. That was a person defect. You feel me? It wasn't a company defect. That was a person selfish intent defect. It wasn't the company intent. Because for that one time where that did happen, I know personally 30 other people personally who's done plenty of projects. They get their recognition, they get promotions. And it wasn't even about a promotion. It's just the recognition. Like literally, I've only heard of it about 3 times within this company with Amazon. So it's not something that happens a lot. And the reason why, I would just encourage you, if you have a project, if you're working on something that's going to make the company better, I would just make sure you make it aware, you know what I mean, with the top people, whoever's over you, but a few of them. So it's not like you just give it to 1 or 2 people. They enclose that information to make sure nobody else knows about it, so then they can capitalize off it. But hope you guys enjoyed the vlog. If you did, be sure to hit that like button, be sure to hit that subscribe button, be sure to hit that notification bell. Yes, I'm also an artist. I go by the name of SB. I just dropped a project called Dreams Motivation Volume 1 and a single called I'm on My Grind. Both of those are on all digital outlets, iTunes, Spotify. Links will be in the description if you want to support it and check it out. Go check that out. Go stream it and run them numbers up. Other than that, I'm going to catch you on the next video. It's your boy SB. Let's go. SB. Welcome to the land of the motivated. Motivated value 1. Let's go. Welcome to the land of the motivated. Setting goals and overtaking. I'm talking big moves, corporations. I'm talking big moves, corporations.